The Union Jack flag, the complete history of Britain's most famous symbol. Part 1. From 3 kingdoms to 1 flag, approx 2,500 words. Long before the Union Jack became one of the world's most recognizable flags, the islands of Britain were divided into separate kingdoms, each with its own ruler, traditions, and national identity. England, Scotland, and Ireland were independent lands with different histories, cultures, and symbols. Their flags represented not only their people but also their patron saints and religious heritage. The story of the Union Jack is therefore much more than the history of a flag. It is the story of political unions, royal dynasties, religious influence, and the creation of what would eventually become the United Kingdom. To understand the Union Jack, we must first explore the individual flags that came together to form it. England and the Cross of St. George. England's national flag is one of the oldest in Europe. It consists of a bold red cross on a white background, known as the Cross of St. George. St. George was a Roman soldier believed to have lived during the 3rd century. According to Christian tradition, he was executed because he refused to renounce his faith. Over time, stories about his courage spread throughout Europe, and he became one of Christianity's most celebrated saints. The most famous legend tells of St. George defeating a dragon that was terrorizing a town. Although historians consider this story mythical rather than historical, it became a powerful symbol of bravery, honor, and the triumph of good over evil. By the Middle Ages, English kings had adopted St. George as the patron saint of England. Soldiers marched beneath his red cross during military campaigns, especially during the Crusades. The flag became associated with English courage and national pride. By the 13th century, the Cross of St. George had become England's official national symbol. It flew over castles, royal ships, and government buildings, representing the English crown and its people. Even today, the flag remains the national flag of England and is widely displayed during sporting events, national celebrations, and important public occasions. Scotland and the Cross of St. Andrew. North of England lay the Kingdom of Scotland, a proud nation with its own monarchy, laws, and traditions. Scotland's national flag is known as the Saltire or the Cross of St. Andrew. It features a white diagonal cross on a blue background and is believed to be one of the oldest national flags still in use. St. Andrew was one of Jesus Christ's 12 apostles. Christian tradition says he was crucified on an X-shaped cross because he believed himself unworthy to die in the same manner as Jesus. This distinctive cross later became his symbol. A famous Scottish legend tells of a battle in the 9th century when King Oengus II prepared to fight an invading army. Before the battle, he prayed for victory. The next morning, white clouds formed the shape of St. Andrew's diagonal cross against a bright blue sky. The Scottish army interpreted this as a divine sign. Inspired by what they believed was heavenly support, they fought with determination and won the battle. Whether the legend is historically accurate or not, it became deeply woven into Scottish national identity. The white saltire on a blue field became Scotland's official flag and has remained unchanged for centuries. The saltire represents faith, perseverance, and Scottish independence, making it one of the country's most cherished symbols. Ireland and the Cross of St. Patrick, the third flag that would later become part of the Union Jack, belonged to Ireland. Unlike England and Scotland, Ireland's representation in the Union Jack came much later. The symbol associated with Ireland is the Cross of St. Patrick, a red diagonal cross on a white background. St. Patrick is famous for bringing Christianity to Ireland during the 5th century. According to tradition, he used the 3-leaf shamrock to explain the Christian doctrine of the Holy Trinity. For centuries, Ireland had many regional symbols, rather than a single universally accepted national flag. The red diagonal cross became more prominent during the 18th century, particularly after the establishment of the Order of St. Patrick in 1783. When Ireland officially joined Great Britain in 1801, this red diagonal cross was selected to represent Ireland within the new national flag. Although historians still debate how widely this symbol represented Ireland before 1801, it became an important part of the Union Jack and remains there today. 3 kingdoms, 3 crowns. For hundreds of years, England and Scotland remained separate kingdoms. They often fought wars, competed for territory, and formed shifting alliances. Although they shared the same island, they had different kings, legal systems, churches, and governments. Ireland was also politically complex, with various kingdoms and growing English influence over several centuries. Despite their close geography, there was no single British nation. Each kingdom protected its own sovereignty and traditions. But history was about to take an unexpected turn. The death of Queen Elizabeth I. In 1603, one of England's greatest monarchs, Queen Elizabeth I, died without leaving any children. Her death ended the Tudor dynasty, creating uncertainty over who would inherit the English throne. Fortunately, a legitimate heir already existed. James VI of Scotland, who was related to the English royal family through his great-grandmother Margaret Tudor, became the rightful successor. When he accepted the English throne, he became King James I of England while remaining James VI of Scotland. For the first time in history, one monarch ruled both kingdoms simultaneously. This historic event became known as the Union of the Crowns. Although England and Scotland remained legally separate countries with separate governments and parliaments, they now shared the same king. This marked the beginning of a new political relationship that would eventually lead to the creation of the United Kingdom. King James's vision. King James believed that the union of England and Scotland should be more than a personal arrangement. He wanted the two kingdoms to appear united before Europe. However, there was an obvious problem. England had one national flag. Scotland had another. Royal ships sailed under different banners depending on which kingdom they belonged to. Foreign nations often found this confusing. James believed that a united monarchy deserved a united symbol. A single flag would represent the shared crown and demonstrate the growing partnership between the kingdoms. His proposal was ambitious. Not everyone welcomed the idea. A dispute over national identity, creating a combined flag, proved much more difficult than expected. The English wanted the Cross of St. George to dominate the design. The Scots believed the Cross of St. Andrew deserved equal importance. Neither side wanted its national identity to appear secondary. The debate reflected centuries of rivalry. To many people, a flag represented far more than colored fabric. It symbolized history, sacrifice, loyalty, and national pride. Designing a flag that satisfied both kingdoms became a political challenge. King James needed a solution that balanced tradition with unity. The first Union flag. In 1606, King James officially approved the first Union flag. The design combined England's red cross of St. George with Scotland's white diagonal saltire on a blue background. This was the first time two national flags had been merged into one. It represented the union of the English and Scottish crowns under a single monarch. Initially, the flag was mainly used by ships at sea. Royal naval vessels flew it to show they served the same king. Gradually, it appeared on government buildings and royal ceremonies. Although England and Scotland remained separate kingdoms, the new flag symbolized the beginning of a shared future. It became an early visual expression of what would later become Great Britain. Not everyone was happy. The first Union flag did not end the disagreements. Some Scots believed the Cross of St. Andrew had been placed beneath the English cross, making Scotland appear less important. Alternative Scottish versions of the flag were even proposed. Many English citizens also resisted the idea of combining national symbols. National identity remained deeply important. Yet despite criticism, the flag continued to be used because it represented the authority of the shared monarch. Over time, people gradually became more familiar with the new design. It slowly evolved from a royal emblem into a symbol recognized throughout Britain. The road toward political union, the Union of the Crowns, brought England and Scotland closer together, but they were still independent states. Each kingdom had its own parliament. Each maintained its own legal system. Many political disagreements continued. However, economic pressures, security concerns, and changing European politics encouraged closer cooperation. Over the next century, discussions about complete political union became increasingly serious. These negotiations would eventually transform not only the governments of Britain, but also its national flag. A new chapter in history was about to begin, one that would create the Kingdom of Great Britain and lay the foundation for the modern Union Jack. The Union Jack flag, the complete history of Britain's most famous symbol. Part 2. The birth of the modern Union Jack and its global legacy. Approx 2,500 words. At the beginning of the 18th century, England and Scotland had already shared the same monarch for more than 100 years. Since the Union of the Crowns in 1603, both kingdoms had continued to operate as separate states. Each had its own parliament, legal system, church traditions, and national identity. While the first Union flag introduced in 1606 symbolized a shared monarchy, it did not create a single country. Political leaders on both sides increasingly believed that a stronger union would provide greater economic stability, improve national security, and strengthen Britain's position in Europe. After years of debate and negotiation, history took another dramatic turn. The Acts of Union of 1707. In 1707, the English Parliament and the Scottish Parliament each passed the Acts of Union. These laws officially united the two kingdoms into one sovereign state known as the Kingdom of Great Britain. This was one of the most significant political events in British history. England and Scotland no longer existed as separate independent kingdoms under the same monarch. Instead, they became one nation with a single parliament based in Westminster, London. However, Scotland retained important parts of its national identity. Its legal system, education system, and Presbyterian Church continued to exist separately, preserving many uniquely Scottish institutions. The Union flag, created in 1606, now represented not only a shared king, but also a united kingdom. It became the official flag of Great Britain. Although the Union brought new opportunities for trade and economic growth, many people in Scotland opposed it. Some believed Scotland had sacrificed too much independence, while others saw the Union as essential for prosperity and security. These debates over national identity would continue for centuries and remain part of British politics even today. Ireland joins the Union. The next major change came nearly a century later. For hundreds of years, England had exercised increasing influence over Ireland. By the late 18th century, political tensions, rebellion, and the wider conflicts of the Napoleonic era convinced British leaders that a closer constitutional union was necessary. The Irish Rebellion of 1798 highlighted the instability of the existing arrangement. In response, the British government proposed a formal union between Great Britain and Ireland. The proposal became law through the Acts of Union of 1800, which took effect on the 1st of January 1801. From that day onward, the country became officially known as the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. This constitutional change required a new national flag. The existing Union flag represented only England and Scotland. Ireland now needed to be included. Designing the modern Union Jack, the challenge was to create a design that respected all the kingdoms while remaining recognizable. Designers decided to add the Cross of St. Patrick, a red diagonal cross representing Ireland. Instead of simply placing the new cross over the existing flag, they carefully arranged the diagonal lines so that the white saltire of St. Andrew remained visible beneath the red diagonal stripes. The result was an elegant and balanced design. The flag now contained the red upright cross of St. George representing England, the white diagonal cross of St. Andrew representing Scotland, the red diagonal cross of St. Patrick representing Ireland. This new design was officially adopted in 1801. Remarkably, more than 2 centuries later, it remains the national flag of the United Kingdom. Very few national flags have remained almost completely unchanged for such a long period. Why is Wales not represented? One of the questions people ask most often is, why doesn't the Union Jack include the Welsh dragon? The answer lies in history. When the first Union flag was created in 1606, Wales was not considered a separate kingdom. Instead, Wales had already been incorporated into the Kingdom of England during the 16th century through the Laws in Wales Acts under King Henry VIII. Because Wales was legally part of England, it was represented by England's Cross of St. George, rather than receiving its own separate symbol. Many Welsh people remain proud of their own national flag, featuring the famous red dragon, which continues to fly across Wales alongside the Union Jack. From time to time, people suggest redesigning the Union Jack to include Wales, but no official changes have ever been made. Why is it called the Union Jack? Another common question concerns its name. Officially, the flag is known as the Union flag. So where did the name Union Jack come from? One widely accepted explanation is that the term Jack referred to a small flag flown from the bowsprit of naval ships. Because the Union flag was commonly displayed on Royal Navy vessels, sailors began calling it the Union Jack. Over time, the nickname became so popular that it entered everyday language. Today, both names Union Flag and Union Jack are widely accepted, although Union Jack is by far the more familiar term around the world. The meaning behind the design. Although the Union Jack looks complex, every element has a purpose. The bold red upright cross symbolizes England's courage, leadership, and historical influence. The white diagonal saltire reflects Scotland's traditions, resilience, and national heritage. The red diagonal cross honors Ireland's place in the Union at the time the modern design was created. The blue background, inherited from Scotland's flag, provides the foundation that ties the design together. The overlapping crosses are carefully arranged to avoid perfect symmetry, making the Union Jack one of the most distinctive national flags ever designed. Its appearance represents the idea that different nations can share a common identity while preserving elements of their individual histories. The Union Jack across the British Empire. During the 19th century, Britain expanded into one of the largest empires in world history. At its height, the British Empire governed territories on every inhabited continent. The Union Jack flew over forts, government buildings, naval bases, trading posts, and colonies across the globe. It became an international symbol of British power, exploration, commerce, and naval strength. Many territories incorporated the Union Jack into their own colonial flags. Even after gaining independence, several countries chose to retain it as part of their national flag. Today, the Union Jack still appears on the flags of countries such as Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, and Tuvalu, reflecting their historical connections to Britain. It is also found on the state flag of Hawaii, making it one of the few US state flags to feature the flag of another nation. Changes after Irish independence. In 1922, most of Ireland became the Irish Free State, later developing into today's Republic of Ireland. Only Northern Ireland remained part of the United Kingdom. Some people expected the Union Jack to change after this major political transformation. However, no redesign took place. The Cross of St. Patrick remained in the flag because Northern Ireland continued to be part of the United Kingdom. As a result, the design adopted in 1801 remains the official national flag today. The Union Jack in modern Britain. Today, the Union Jack is flown during national celebrations, royal events, military ceremonies, sporting competitions, and important state occasions. It appears outside government buildings, embassies, and royal residences. The flag has also become a global cultural icon. It appears in fashion, music, art, advertising, souvenirs, and popular culture. During the 1960s, the Union Jack became closely associated with the British invasion of music, when bands such as the Beatles and the Rolling Stones transformed global popular culture. Designers later used its bold colors and striking geometry in clothing, furniture, and graphic design, making it one of the world's most recognizable visual symbols. Myths and interesting facts. Many myths surround the Union Jack. One common belief is that the flag can be flown upside down without anyone noticing. In reality, there is a correct orientation. Because the diagonal crosses are arranged asymmetrically, an upside-down Union Jack is considered incorrect and, in some circumstances, may even be interpreted as a signal of distress. Another myth claims the flag has always looked the same. In fact, there have been two major official versions: the first Union flag of 1606 and the modern design introduced in 1801. Here are a few fascinating facts. The Union Jack is more than 200 years old in its current form. It combines the symbols of three patron saints. It is among the most recognizable flags in the world. Its design has influenced numerous national and regional flags. It remains a powerful symbol of British history and identity. Conclusion: the Union Jack is far more than a colorful arrangement of crosses. It tells the story of kingdoms that were once divided but gradually united through royal succession, political agreements, and constitutional change. From the Red Cross of St. George to the White Saltire of St. Andrew and the Red Saltire of St. Patrick, every line represents a chapter in Britain's long and complex history. For some, it symbolizes unity and shared heritage. For others, it reflects centuries of political change and debate. Whatever perspective one holds, there is no denying its historical importance. More than 400 years after the first Union flag appeared and over 2 centuries since the modern design was adopted, the Union Jack remains one of the world's most famous national flags, a lasting emblem of the United Kingdom and its remarkable journey through history.